Torey Lovullo, the Diamondbacks manager, National League All-Star manager, and kind enough to join us last week to announce to Paul Skenes that he was going to be the starting pitcher in the National League All-Star game. Torey, kind enough to join us in Chicago, taking on the Cubs. That'll be a Friday. Torey joins us. Did you keep everything from last night? What did you keep from the All-Star game last night?
God, that's a good question. There's a lot to take in. And I know you've been in and out of that clubhouse.
Not
You've been in and out of
memories.
that.
I'm talking about your
Yeah,
uniform, your belt,
yeah,
the lineup
yeah.
card. Like what?
Uh, yeah, I get to keep my jersey. That was pretty good. Probably the best thing that I got was I brought a guitar, a red guitar, Sedona reddish guitar, and I had the entire team sign that. So that's gonna be the best memory that or the best thing that I'm gonna take back with me to Arizona for sure.
Could we get the pants for the man cave?
The jersey, definitely going to go up in the man cave. The pants, did you see the unis? They're tough unis. They were
They're
a little bit dark. They
no,
weren't
they're
really flowing too good.
Torey. They're called terrible. They're terrible. You know that, right? Nothing personal. They're just they don't. It looks like softball.
Yeah, I agree. Remember the good old days though when you'd wear your home uni?
Yes, I
I
love
think,
that.
yeah, yeah. MLB has a great plan. I don't want to disrupt that, but yeah, it was a little bit different. A little bit different for
Okay,
sure.
what are you doing with the pants? Can I put them in my man cave? How about this?
Um,
How about the socks? Could I get something to put up in the man cave here?
oh my God, would you really do that? For
Yes,
sure.
yes. You
Sure.
autograph it.
Okay.
Don Mattingly sent me his entire Dodger uniform. Every time he
Yeah.
got thrown out of a game, he had to send me a piece of his uniform. So
Oh my
I
God.
made a mannequin of Donnie, and so I got hat, I got his jersey, I got his pants, everything over there. So I'm not asking for you to send me something every time you get thrown out. Maybe just something, because we have the All-Star game moment now. You and me and Paul Skenes, we have that moment that we'll share the rest of our lives.
This is why you're the absolute best. I love it. I love it. All right, the pants. I'll send you a couple surprises. They'll be on their way for sure. Now, the whole Don Mattingly thing.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of Donnie baseball. Like that must be a pretty impressive collection. But our moment, right? I butted in on you and Paul the other day,
yeah.
and I had a tough time doing that. You guys seem like you guys were vibing pretty good, so I appreciate you inviting me in. But it worked out good. You know what? MLB tipped me off to that. I'm just really appreciative. I was able to meet you and Paul at the same time.
I thought it was great. But you're looking at somebody who's 22 years of age, Tori.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he seems pretty mature for 22 years of age.
yeah. You always wonder what's under the hood when you finally get a chance to meet him, and he was as solid a human being as as he portrayed when I was talking to him, as I've been watching him on the diamond on TV when he's on the bump throwing. Just very humble, um, very very proud of his craft, and he wants to go out there and be great. And it's hard to believe. It really is hard to believe that he's 22 years old.
Who's he remind you of stuff wise?
Uh, Probably Doc Gooden. Remember when Doc was as dominant as he was early in his career? And he had a great career. Don't get me wrong; it was a long, great career. But when he jumped onto the scene, it was power stuff with a wipeout curveball. Paul has the real good fastball, and a young pitcher that knows where it's going at that velocity is very uncommon. And then he's got the splinter. He calls it a sinker or a split. That's equivalent to the curveball, Uncle Charlie that Doc used to throw.
But you also have these. I mean, and I remember, Doc's curveball was not 97 miles an hour. It feels like Paul Skeens' off speed pitch is 96, 97 miles per hour. How long can you keep that kind of velocity up?
Well, he's a big horse. I when you stand next to him, he's all but he's almost 7 foot when he's standing next to you. So he's got some force on the baseball, no doubt about it. But I think his body can withstand that. This is the type of guy. I think he's a generational guy because of the demeanor, the maturity that we're talking about. But I think his stuff is going to be pretty special. If he can stay healthy, he's going to have a great career.
The star power of Otani. Now you get to write his name in the lineup. What was that like, just sort of being around him on his side?
The presence is pretty powerful. You sit next to him. He's just a normal kid, right? Too the same thing. It's amazing. I watch these guys across the field. He's circling the bases after hitting home runs against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He hit one last night. It was great to high five him when he came back into our dugout. We were on the same team. But I had a couple moments with him where it was kind of laughing. We were laughing and giggling and just carrying on and having the same type of conversation that you and I are having right now. But just a quality human being who happens to be a great player, and that's the intimidating part of being at the All-Star game. You're a part of this room. You're in this space where the best players are in the same space at one time. I was just hoping I didn't walk through the clubhouse and trip and fall in front of everybody. I'm like, all right, one foot, left, right. Just don't fall, don't trip. Yeah.
What was the one thing you learned from the World Series last year? Like, is there one overriding thing where you have that with you? If you win again, this would be something that you would remind yourself of?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I love baseball. I love the history of baseball. My grandpa and my parents taught me the right way. I was in awe of the moment, and I will never forget or take that for granted that I was the manager in a World Series. The thing that I remember is all the love and support that I got from people around me in my space, and then it's 7:05. It was go time, and we had a job to do. So I just remember the balance, the excitement, and I want to win one. It was tough to go that far, and then at the end of it, you had to walk off the field, and you weren't the last team standing. So I have a lot of motivation to, if we ever do get back there, to make sure that we do everything we can to win one.
You played in the late 80s and 90s. Best pitcher you faced?
Doc Gooden. He was still pumping it up there in the mid 90s with Uncle Charlie. I had a really tough time with a guy by the name of Flash Gordon. I don't know if you remember the name.
Tom.
And yeah, Tom Flash Gordon. He would throw me a fastball probably in the mid 90s, eye high, and then bounce three curveballs that I couldn't see or pick up spin. And he knew it, and he kept throwing them shorter and shorter. He's practically throwing them in the grass, and I would swing at him. So those are the two guys, right out of nowhere. Everybody would think, Roger Clemens, Nolan Ryan. Well, certainly they were good, but I had a tough time with Doc Gooden, and had a really, really tough time with Flash Gordon.
But Randy Johnson,
yeah, I think I had a couple of hits off of the big unit. For some reason, I saw the ball off of him. I can't explain it. He might have felt sorry for me. He thought, who was this little dweeb up there? I got to help him out. I see he's hitting 210. Let me help him out and throw him a cookie.
Can you name all 15 pitchers you homered off of in your career?
Oh man, what happens? For some reason, I think I hit more, but I didn't. And for some reason, I feel like I can go back to every single one of them.
Paulie, do you have the names of all 15 pitchers?
I got to check on that.
Okay.
Okay, I can probably get pretty close, but I might miss one or two. Yeah, I can get you pretty close, Dan, for sure.
Any All-Stars, any Hall of Famers?
Yeah, that's what threw me off. So I did homer off of Doc Gooden. I did homer off of Roger Clemens. I know he's not a Hall of Famer. I homered off of Rick Sutcliffe. I had some big names in there. I don't know how I did that.
Do you think that they looked at that when you came up, they could maybe rest a little bit, like an easy out? I'm not going to waste my good stuff on. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Torey. I mean, you weren't Babe Ruth at the plate, so I'm guessing they might have gone, all right, I got an out here. Yeah, Paulie.
Dan, the list gets better for Torey.
Okay.
He got Roger Clemens. Yeah. He got Sutcliffe. He got prime Kevin Brown. He got David Wells, Jack Morris, Dwight Gooden. I mean, that's...
Damn.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're onto something, though, Dan. They looked at me and they felt so sorry. Remember in Little League, it was like, okay, everybody bring the outfielders in. Everybody in. Come on, he's gonna hit a ground ball or something. He can't get it over anybody's head. So, yeah, I think that was probably part of it.
Were you, when you got to the plate, a walk's as good as a hit? All right, Torey, walk's as good as a hit. Come on now. Like, they didn't want to have the expectations too high?
Yeah, for sure.
Don't be afraid to get hit.
Yeah,
don't be afraid to get hit, Torey. It's okay. Walk's as good as a hit. Come on now. Come on, babe. Well, congratulations. Thank you again for last Friday, and we'll look forward to maybe a surprise or two for the man cave.
Oh, for sure. I'll get that address. We'll tighten that up. We'll get you something real nice in there. And I honestly, Dan, I'm a big fan. I would be honored. I'd be honored to send you something. So thank you.
Thank you, bud. That's Torey Lovullo. The Diamondbacks, they are right now second in the West. They got the Cubs at Wrigley. That'll be coming up on Friday, I believe. Good sport there.